You adulterers, don't you realize that friendship with the world makes you an enemy of God? I say it again, if you want to be a friend of the world, you make yourself an enemy of God. Do you think the scriptures have no meaning? They say that God is passionate, that the Spirit He has placed within us should be faithful to Him. And He gives grace generously, and the scriptures say, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. So humble yourselves before God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come close to God, and God will come close to you. Wash your hands, you sinners. Purify your hearts, for your loyalty is divided between God and the world. Let there be tears for what you have done. Let there be sorrow and deep grief. Let there be sadness instead of laughter, and gloom instead of joy. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will lift you up in honor. So here he's talking to believers. James is writing to the church. He's writing to us. We can't have the world and have the church. We have to be loyal to one. And so when I wasn't going to read all that, I was just going to read the last 4 or 5 verses of what I just read, but I wanted to give it in its full context. Here, the people are still struggling with life. They're still struggling with their sinful nature and their new spiritual nature. And so here he goes on to say that, the first thing you have to understand is if you don't try to fight this thing and win over the flesh, God opposes the proud. So not only are you fighting against your flesh, now you're fighting against your flesh and God. That's what he's saying here. But if we fight the good fight and we're doing everything that we can for our spirits to win over our flesh, then God will give you grace. He gives grace to the humble. He gives grace to those who give their best efforts to overcome evil, to overcome their old sinful nature. You got to give your best effort. And then he says, come close to God and He'll come close to you. Wash your hands, you sinners. So what does that mean? Do we go and we wash our hands in the sink and we're forgiven? We put some soap and we're forgiven? No. If you notice, every time we sin, our hands are involved. When you murder, you use your hands somehow. When you commit adultery, you're using your hands. Right? And so that's why I read the beginning of this, how there's fights among them and they're doing this and they're craving that. But here he's saying, wash your hands, not literally under soap and water, but get your hands out of sin. Quit touching the things that you know are wrong. Quit putting it on that channel or pushing that button on your computer when you know it's going to lead you to something that's wrong. Keep your hands out of there. Quit touching it. Quit wrapping your fingers around it and holding on to it. That's why he says, wash your hands. Quit touching it already.